Good morning, Dean, whoever else may be watching. It is currently 2 degrees where I am right now, so hopefully we can warm up a bit with our practice on the first official Yoga with Tess class of the year. So let's begin in a comfortable seated position. Again, kneeling, crossing legs, or stacking your shins like firewood. Again, to just move back and forth on either sits bones, feeling sits bones root into the floor. And once you feel comfortable, however you're sitting, and to inhale, lift your shoulders towards your ears, and then exhale them towards the back wall and down. Again, take a few more breaths, inhaling, shoulders up towards the ears, and exhaling back and down, taking this slight rotation in the shoulders and the coordinated inhaling and exhaling, to using it to begin to turn yourself inward, inhaling up, exhaling down. Every exhale sitting up a little straighter, shoulders relaxing a little more. Inhaling, filling belly, ribs, chest with air. Exhaling, relaxing diaphragm, ribs. You may close your eyes or steadily gaze ahead of you. Take 3 more breaths, inhaling, shoulders up, exhaling, back and down. 2 more times, inhale and exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Placing hands on knees or crossing wherever comfortable. Begin to really bring your breath and awareness around your spine. So send your inhale and your exhale to the front of your body, yes, but also to your back body, noticing if you can begin to open the spine, lengthen the spine by consciously sending breath and energy to your back body, inhaling and exhaling, feeling belly expand, Dirga 3-part breath, so 3 parts to your breath, taking hands to belly, feeling your belly expand, and perhaps taking your hands to your back body, noticing if there's any movement there, encouraging big, deep, long breaths. And perhaps taking hands to side body, bottom of your rib cage. Feeling your breath expands laterally through the side body. Perhaps noticing for the first time just how dynamic your breath really is. Becoming conscious of your breath is the first step to turning inwards. Noticing all of the fascination that your body can hold. Again, slowly moving hands up to chest, over your heart. Feeling your chest rise and fall. You can keep your hands on your chest or allow them to fall back onto your knees. But continuing with this 3-part breath, perhaps layering on the Ujjayi breath, ocean sounding breath, with that constriction at the back of the throat. Now that we've felt the breath, we can hear it. Perhaps continue to feel it, making it become our only awareness as we begin our practice today. Taking a few minutes of breath, we leave behind any thoughts, any discontent we had for practice, any worries for the future, stepping into the present moment. Three more cycles of Dirga breath, inhaling. Perhaps counting your inhales and exhales, trying to match. If you inhale for 5 beats, perhaps exhaling for 5 beats. Slowing down our minds, bodies with the slowing of our breath. Final inhale. Perhaps holding at the top for 5 beats. And exhaling for 5 beats. Continuing to keep your eyes closed or focusing ahead of you. You can release the restraint of your breath, release Ujjayi breath, release Dirga, and allow it to just flow unrestricted, noticing any differences between your breath from the beginning to practice to now. And keeping that internal focus that we've cultivated with this short breath practice, I'd like to offer a quote from Hermann Hesse's Siddhartha. Something that we can perhaps set as an intention for practice today, and maybe even carry it out with us as we begin this new year, new day. So, gentleness is stronger than severity. Water is stronger than rock. Love is stronger than force. Just a few words of wisdom you can do with. Think of that as you continue with your practice, knowing it's alright if you can't do a certain pose. You'll get there. There's no need to force, judge. Just be aware and be present. That being said, you can begin to open your eyes and come down onto your back. Once you're on your back, you pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Pull your knees into chest, touching your thighs to your belly. Inhale deeply and then exhale. Just begin to pretend like you're painting circles on the ceiling with your knees. So making big, wide circles. Beginning to just slowly open up the hips, release the low back. Inhaling as you pull knees in, exhaling as they are pushed away. Again, making circles as big or small as you deem necessary today. Inhaling out, exhaling in. Good, perhaps changing directions now. If you went left, going right, vice versa. And again, coordinating your breath with your movement, making this practice your own. Feeling free at any time to deviate from the postures that I offer you today. Good. Next time your knees are into your chest, give your knees final squeeze and then lift your feet towards the air, flexing your feet, pointing your toes towards the ceiling. Finding a stretch through the front ankles, and then taking your feet all the way to the floor, hands overhead for full body stretch, inhaling and flexing every muscle in your body that you can feel. Big long extension from head to toe. For 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky and legs to the sky. Feet again pointing to the ceiling. Hanging out here for a second in dead bug. mild inversion begins to get the blood flowing from your feet to your hips instead of hips to feet. Good. Inhale. And exhale, allow your hands to drop out to T position on either side of you. And just begin to, again, paint big circles on the ceiling, and this time with your feet. So engaging your abdominals, a little more of an active circling now. And I encourage you to take your feet down as far as you can go with your back still on the floor. So if that lower back, the lumbar spine begins to rise off the floor, you're going a little too far, straining your back instead of your abdominals. So again, explore. Go down maybe a little further than you can go and then ease up. Just playing on that edge between just straining your back and offering tension to your muscles. Again, coordinating breath, exhaling and inhaling in. One more time to the left. Pausing for a moment at the top. Inhale, lower the legs to the floor, arms overhead again, taking full body stretch. Inhale, flexing every muscle from hand to toe now. And exhaling, release, again lifting toes to ceiling and beginning to make that clock face go the opposite direction. Again, coordinating breath with movement. Hopefully finding a little bit of a fire in your low belly. Perhaps going out wider or farther down. One more time, encouraging your feet as low as they can go and inhaling up. Again, take your arms overhead and pause for a moment. Pull your knees into your chest, again giving yourself that hug. And then allow both knees to drop over to the left. So taking a mild twist. Thighs are stacked on top of each other, shins are stacked. And once you've found your hips stacked, you can allow that right shoulder to sink towards the floor, extend the right arm, and perhaps even look at that right hand. Left hand can encourage the knees to the floor, placing your left hand on your knees. Or you can extend that arm as well, making T position with the arms once again. Take 3 breaths in this pose. Again, turning inward towards your breath, feeling the passage of your breath in this pose. Noticing where you feel more constricted, perhaps in your back. Perhaps belly feels more free. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. Keeping your legs where they are, take your right hand to your head and you're going to encourage your right elbow towards your knees on the left. So we're going to engage side body now, engaging obliques, inhaling and exhaling, encourage elbow towards knee. I'll roll over on this side so you can see me. So opposite elbow towards the knees. Inhale up and exhale down. So it's just like a side crunch. Just beginning to wake up the side body. Inhale up and exhale down. If you're looking for a little more heat, you can extend your legs so you're in kind of a side V position. Inhale, lift the legs as well as the upper body. And exhale, perhaps tenting your fingers as you go up on that left hand so that you have less pressure on that bottom arm and it's more work for the abs. Inhaling up Exhale down. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. More. Inhale up and hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Coming back down onto your back. Feet are pressing into the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Encourage your feet to line up with those hips. Maybe scoot your feet in close enough to your hips so that your fingers can touch your heels. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release your lips. Release any tightening in the jaw. And once you're ready, inhale with press into your feet. Lift your hips to the sky. Find bridge pose. Engaging glutes, hamstrings, low back. Continuing to find engagement in your abdominals, even though it's not obviously an abdominal workout. Inhale, press your feet into the floor, lift your hips a little higher, and exhale, slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. Good, this time, inhaling again, lifting your hips to the sky, and coordinating your hands with that. Hands reach towards the ceiling, and then come over your head to rest on the floor over you, behind you. Inhale deeply, and then exhale, release. Again, coordinating your hands with the dropping of your hips. Hands come back towards your heels. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, lift the hips. Hands at the same time come over your head. Push your hips, take a little more oxygen in, and then exhale, release. Again, moving slowly with intention and with your breath. Inhale 1 more time, hips and arms rise. And exhale, slowly release. Good, pulling your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Need to again release that low back. And once you can allow that rocking to take your knees over to the right this time. So knees pointing to the right, you can allow your right hand to rest on your knees. Left hand reaches for the wall, side wall. Left shoulder falls to the ground, and you can actually look at that left hand to encourage the stretch to come into your neck as well. Again, take a few minutes here to just allow your muscles to unwind. Taking a moment to just do nothing. Allow your body to slowly relax on its own time. Not forcing anything. Good. Final deep inhale, again noticing passage of breath in this different posture than when we were sitting. And long, relaxed exhale. Head slowly comes back, so looking up at the ceiling rather than your left hand. Left hand comes to cradle your head, and inhale. Begin to engage obliques and encourage that left elbow towards the knees out to the right. Exhale, release. Again, side crunch, inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale back down. Again, staying here or extending those legs out to make your body like a big V, the base at your hips. Inhaling, lifting legs and the side body, and exhaling, release. Inhaling up, exhale, release. Three more times, moving at your own pace, your own breath. Last one, inhale deeply, come up and hold for 3, 2, 1, slowly release. Good, coming onto your back. Again, pulling those knees into your chest one last time. And now allowing the feet to come up to to the ceiling. Making peace fingers with your hands. Wrap your peace fingers around your toes. Pull your feet towards your shoulders. Allow your knees to splay out to the side to find happy baby. Passive way to really open the hips. Sending breath to hip area to slowly open the hips before getting deeper into our practice. Perhaps rocking from side to side as we did earlier with knees into chest. And perhaps extending your left leg when you rock to the left, and then extending right when you rock to the right, making this a little more dynamic. Stretching hips as well as hamstrings, inner thigh. Two more times, inhaling deeply and exhaling. If you found the rocking, come back to center, final inhale. Long, relaxed exhale. Good. And again, lift your feet to the sky, extending those legs, and then slowly releasing them to the floor. And as you release your legs, come up to seated. Finding Dandasana, pose of the staff. Sits bones rooted into the floor. Long line. Your legs are active and engaged, flexing your foot, toes flexing towards you. Inhale again, shoulders up towards ears, and exhale them back and down. Noticing how you can be active and engaged even in a sitting posture. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, slowly come forward. This is pausing where you find your back begins to arch. And then allow your hands to fall wherever they may. Shins, thighs, or foot. Good. So wherever you are, not forcing yourself to go any further. Inhale, find a flat back, look up. And then exhale, round forward, finding a stretch through the shoulders and back. Again, inhaling, finding flat back, looking up. And then exhale, rounding forward. Again, as you move through this kind of cat-dog variation in Dandasana, Paschimottanasana, forward fold, I encourage you not to force your hamstrings. Really focus on your back and just slowly opening up your back legs. So if it's really a struggle for you to be at your feet, move down to your shins and really just focus on your back, engaging your legs and slowly opening up the back of your legs, not forcing anything. 3 more times, inhaling back, exhaling, pressing chest towards front wall. Inhale, round out your back like a cat. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rounding out. And exhale, forward one more time. Good. Holding here for 3, 2, 1. Coming back to Dandasana for a moment, reaching arms overhead. Inhale deeply. And then exhale, arms come out behind you, behind your hips. Beginning to lift your hips to the sky, allow your feet to come into the mat. Find reverse plank. Opening up your shoulders, engaging abdominals, lifting hips to sky. And if it's comfortable, allowing your neck to fall back, opening your front body up, opening yourself to practice. Holding here for 5. Encourage your hips a little higher. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come back to sitting. Cross your knees under you. Find table position just for a moment. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl your back toes under. And lift your knees off of the mat about just a couple inches, engaging core once again. Rock forward, engaging Shoulders and then back. Inhale forward and exhale. Inhale forward, noticing sensation in those wrists, and then exhale back, sensation in ankles. Inhale forward and exhale back, lift hips to the sky, heels to the mat. Find your first downward facing dog of the day. Walk that dog out, bend one knee, extend the other, slowly waking up the hamstrings. Again, tracking the passage of your breath through every pose, noticing where breath moves more freely, where it may be more constricted. Coordinating breath with each movement of your knees. Good. Once you feel a little more open and free, begin to encourage your heels towards the mat. Lift your hips to the sky. Find your full expression of downward dog. Allow your neck to let go. Notice if you're really straining in your neck, just let it relax. 5 cycles of breath. Good. Final exhale. Begin to lift your right leg towards the ceiling, opening up that left hamstring a little more, keeping your hips square towards the mat. And then inhale, send energy into that leg, opening up the hip stack. The hips are stacked, bending that lifted right knee, holding here. Begin sending breath and awareness into the hips. Inhale deeply and then exhale again. Begin to unwind, coming back to three-legged dog. And then pulling that knee into your chest, finding high plank, knee into chest. Inhale here and exhale. Bring that right foot in between your hands, setting up for a low lunge variation. Hands framing that front foot, knee stacked over the front ankle, and back knee can either be on or off the mat. Good. Take a minute here, just notice sensation running through your legs, your hips. Perhaps rocking forward into that front knee and then back into that back ankle. Beginning to notice awareness and sensation, finding fascination through your whole body. Good, coming back to stillness, finding that strong base. And slowly beginning to lift up, finding warrior one. So knees stacked over front ankle, shoulders stacked over hips, arms can be lifted up towards the ceiling, and notice that back leg. Encourage your back knee to really extend towards the ceiling so that you can split your energy into both legs. Inhale, reach up for the ceiling, just as we did that long body stretch. Engage all of your upper body muscles as you reach for the ceiling. Inhale, and then exhale, come forward. Again, inhale, reach for the ceiling, long extension through your spine, and exhale, forward. One more time, inhale, long extension, and exhale, forward. Hands frame either side of that foot, stepping that right foot back to meet up with left. Finding high plank. Take a moment here to notice sensation in this posture, rocking forward onto wrists, back onto ankle. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, this time coming halfway down, elbows into chest. And exhale, pressing into hands, upward facing dog. Take 3 cycles of breath here. Again, noticing energy as you inhale and exhale. Expanding your chest. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, lifting your hips to the sky, heels to the mat. Find downward facing dog. Again, 3 cycles of breath. Taking time in each posture to notice any small sensations you may not have been aware of. Notice your breath. Good. Inhale now your left leg towards the sky, keeping hips square to the mat to open up that back right leg. And then inhaling, sending energy into that hip to stack left hip on right and bend the left knee. Again, passive hip opener as we found in Happy Baby. Good, beginning to unwind again, finding 3-legged dog for a moment. Inhale, send that leg to the sky, and then exhale, pull that left knee into your chest, finding high plank with knee into your chest. Deep inhale, and then exhale, use energy to put that left foot in between your hands. Good, once your foot is in between your hands, begin to encourage that left knee forward, coming no further than your front ankle. And again, noticing sensation on the left side, knowing side might be a little tighter, looser, no big deal. Inhaling forward, coming out over that foot, and then exhaling back, feeling compression in that back right ankle. Inhaling forward, and exhaling back. One more time, inhale forward, and exhale back. Good, finding strong base of support now, stability. Allowing that back knee to drop to the mat if necessary, or encouraging the back knee to reach for the ceiling. Good, once you feel strong here, lift up. Find Warrior One. Again, shoulders stack over hips. Arms reach towards the ceiling. Inhale, go nice and long. Flex every muscle in your upper body. And then exhale, forward. Inhale, come up, reach for the ceiling. And exhale, forward. Inhale up, noticing power in your breath as the poses become more powerful. And exhale, forward. Hands come either side of that left foot. Send that left foot back to meet up with the right, finding high plank. Holding here for a breath. Inhale, forward. Exhale, halfway down. And then inhale, upward facing dog, knees on or off the mat. Good. 3 cycles of breath. Inhale, come back down, low plank. Exhale, high plank. Coming over out onto the outside of your left ankle, your left heel, your left foot actually, sorry. Right foot stacks onto the left, and right hand begins to reach for the ceiling. Opening your chest towards the side wall, and again engaging left side body. Finding side plank. Good. You can make this a little more interesting, taking top right foot, placing foot into left thigh like tree pose, lifting hips towards the top wall. Inhale here and exhale, come back to high plank. Right knee is still facing side wall, right foot into left thigh. You begin to press yourself up, coming into the forward fold, still pressing that right foot into the left thigh if you found that variation. If you notice your right foot begins to slide into your knee, take a moment to adjust that so you're not putting pressure on that bone. Inhale deeply and exhale, fold forward. Take a moment to pause, realize what sort of weird pose we're in right now, and then begin to come up to standing. Again, finding a standing tree pose. Encourage your hands to come over your head, Clasped together in prayer position. Good, I'm going to move forward so you can see me. So, hands are reaching for the ceiling again, finding engagement in your whole upper body as you extend and reach for the sky above or the ceiling above. Inhale deeply, and then exhale. Begin to release that right foot forward. Slowly releasing right foot to meet up with left. Inhale, reach up, finding a slight back bend, opening heart to sky. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Hang out here for 5 breaths as I check the time. Good. Really take the time to release every muscle in this posture. Really starting with your neck. Notice if you're straining your neck looking forward. Just allow your head to totally release. Notice if your shoulders are feeling tight. And if they are, you can walk your hands out to the right. Bending the left knee, extending the right leg to find a great side body and shoulder stretch. And then walk your hands out to the right, bend the right knee, extend the left leg to breathe, send energy into that left shoulder and left side body. Again, coming back to center, and to trace the passage of your breath down to your low back. If you're feeling any compression in your lower back, I encourage you to bend your knees, allow your stomach to come over your thighs so that you have more of an active release in the low back rather than tension, strain. Good. As you continue to breathe, allow your breath to flow down into your legs, noticing the stretch is becoming less intense in your hamstrings as you hang out, or more intense. If you feel as though you need more stretch, you can take your hands, place your palms underneath your feet, finding gorilla pose and bending the elbows and encouraging your head towards your knee to find a more active stretch of the hamstrings. Finally, awareness goes to your feet. Notice your toes, perhaps pressing into your hands or the floor. Begin to lift your toes and spread them out onto the floor. Noticing how wide your toes, how much distance you have between each toe. Take a few more breaths. Just notice every sensation from head to toe. In such a simple posture. Good. Next inhale, you can begin to take the hands out from under your feet if you found that variation of gorilla. Begin to walk your hands forward, coming out again into high plank. Hold here for a moment. Switch directions. Good. Noticing it in high plank if you're kind of lifting your butt to the sky or the floor, keeping it in center, encouraging your chest forward, looking forward for a moment. And then coming out onto the outside of that right foot, stacking left foot on right, lifting left hand to sky, finding Vashisthasana side plank. Again, noticing your hips. Lift your hips to the ceiling. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Good. Maintaining the hips lifted to the sky. Play with taking that left foot into right thigh. Finding side tree. Good. Return that foot back to stacked, or remain in side tree as you come out back into high plank. Hold here for a breath. And then begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Again, finding that modified forward fold with the left foot into the thigh if you're playing with that tree variation. Take a moment here to get centered. Begin to find your balance as you rise up, finding tree on your right foot this time. Inhaling, perhaps lifting your arms over your head. Find a stretch through the chest as you reach up, perhaps finding a mild back bend, even as you're in tree. Knowing balance poses are a time for play, not total seriousness if you fall out. Smiling, going back in. Perhaps playing with where you place your eyes, perhaps looking up to the ceiling can be a bit of a challenge when you change your focus point, your drishti. Good. Inhale, reach up one last time. Exhale, slowly bring that left knee forward and place it next to that right foot. Good. From here, from the back of your mat, lift your right knee to the ceiling, so thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale, pull the right knee into your chest. And then exhale, step forward towards the front of your mat. Again, finding warrior one variation. This time, back heel swivels towards the floor, toes 45-degree angle towards the front of your mat, and hips come out to the side wall. Arms extend opposite directions, T position for warrior two. Again, engaging abdominals, even though they're not actively working as much as your legs are in this pose. And sinking into that front knee, but remembering to keep it behind or over the front ankle. Good. Inhale, reach forward. And then exhale, reach behind you. Allow that left hand fall onto left shin. Right arm reaches towards the back wall behind you, finding dancing warrior. You can look up towards the ceiling. Again, encouraging chest to open. Inhaling deeply as you sink your front knee a little further towards the front wall, back arm, an extended arm towards the back wall. Inhale, and then exhale, right forearm presses into right thigh, left hand now reaches towards the front wall. Staying here, or perhaps taking that right arm off of the thigh entirely, reaching right arm towards the front wall, so both arms are framing your ears. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, as our poses become stronger, your breath becomes more solid as well. Inhale and exhale, coming back to warrior two, shoulders stacked over hips. Deep inhale and exhale. And next exhale. Both hands come to either side of that right foot. Step your left foot up to meet with the right. Take a quick forward fold. Notice any difference between your right and left leg. And then inhale, slowly come back up to standing. Arms overhead to prayer position. And then hands to prayer in front of your heart. Good. Just turning on your mat if you need to. Take a deep inhale, lift your left leg parallel to the mat, left thigh parallel to mat. Again, inhaling, pull left knee into your chest. And then exhale, brave step forward onto your mat, coming into warrior one variation. Inhale, arms over your head, and then exhale, arms to T position as you swivel that back heel down to the mat, warrior two. Take a moment again to find your base. See how far you can bend that back knee, that front knee. Extend the back knee. Inhale forward, and then exhale back. Right hand to right shin. Left hand reaches for the back wall, sinking your knee, your front knee a little deeper. Good. Again, tracing passage of breath. Notice breath perhaps a little more in your left side body than your right. Inhale, send energy to left side body, and then exhale, left forearm to left knee, right arm reaches for the front wall. Inhale, now noticing energy in the right side body. Good. Staying here, or again, playing with abdominal oblique engagement, left arm towards front wall. Both arms now framing your ears. Keeping left knee bent. Good. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to warrior two for a moment. And then inhaling, turning your front foot towards the side of the mat. Both toes now facing side of the mat, finding 5-pointed star. Hands to T position. Inhale, arms over your head, again finding full body stretch, and then exhaling, coming to wide-legged forward fold. Hands can be on either ankle, or hands can be pressing into the floor. Engage your legs so as not to put too much strain on your knee. And again, begin to notice how you're straining. Notice if your neck is straining because you're lifting your head, allow it to release. Again, taking more active pose, grabbing opposite ankles, grabbing your ankles with your hands and pulling yourself towards your head, towards the mat. Make more of a stretch than just keeping your hands on the floor. But knowing your own body, choose what is best for you today. Three more breaths. Good. Inhale, hands back to center. Begin to bend your knees. Toe heeling your feet in, finding a squat position. Again, hands to prayer in front of your heart. Arms actively pressing into your knees. I encourage you to press your chest towards front wall so as to find a nice flat back. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, begin to come back onto your sits bones, finding a seated position, finding cross-legged pose once again. Inhale deeply. And exhale, release. Finding seated pose just as we did at the beginning of class. Notice how you feel now. Notice if any tension has dissolved or if there's new tension. And if there's new tension, not growing angry or frustrated, just acknowledging that, taking note. Perhaps it's something to work on in your next practice or throughout the day. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, your left hand comes to right knee. Right hand comes out behind you, finding a twist. Inhale, grow nice and long, and exhale, twist. Perhaps looking at the right hand behind you, again, taking the twist into the neck. Inhale, coming to center. Arms come to prayer over your head. Go nice and long again, full body stretch, and then exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand comes out behind you. Going nice and long in the spine, and then exhale, looking behind you, perhaps looking out at that hand as you continue to walk the left hand a little further, twisting a little deeper on every exhale. Good. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs. Your toes come together, knees are spread wide on either side of the mat, hips come to your heels, and you can walk your hands forward, finding child's pose. Forehead or chin rests on the mat. Again, taking a few breaths here to turn inward. Beginning to wind down at the end of our practice. Coming from up, back down to the mat. Reflecting on the past hour with non-judgmental awareness. Noticing passage of breath in this posture. Stomach has plenty of space to expand. Good. Inhaling, beginning to walk your hands up towards your knees, taking feet out in front of you. Slowly coming down onto your back, pulling these into your chest last time. Inhale and then exhale. Allow your legs to extend and feet to splay out to either side. Hands resting on your stomach or next to your hips. Again, for one final time before entering Shavasana, notice your body. Take any last final stretches necessary for complete relaxation. Begin to notice passage of breath through your body, perhaps by feeling your chest and belly rise and fall on the floor. Mind beginning to relax just as our muscles have in this practice today. Mind lets go of everything future and everything past. Allow yourself to be one with your body, with your breath, and take this time in Shavasana to honor yourself. Can remain in this place as long as you'd like, or Begin to pull your knees into your chest. Again, becoming that small seed, rolling over onto your left or right side. Taking a moment here, mentally come back into your body and your breath. Reflecting once more on your practice today. Really acknowledge something that you learned, something you accomplished, or something you'd like to take with you for the rest of the day. Setting an intention from your practice to carry through your work or whatever you're doing today. With that in mind, slowly press into your hands, keeping eyes closed. Come back into seated position one last time. Inhale, arms overhead to prayer position. Exhale, palms to prayer in front of your heart. With this practice, I acknowledge the divine light within you. May you have a wonderful day. Namaste.